Hey everybody, it's Ryan coming at you with another installment of Gastric Measures, my weekly video vlog where I talk about my journey through vertical sleeve gastrectomy, weight loss, and just my life in general. And I did the air quotes because I missed last week, and I missed last week because I was lazy. I just never had the time to do it, and whenever I did have the time, I just was not feeling very productive, or if I was in productive mode, I had other things to do. So let's get right into it with the stats. Now, my starting weight is changing again because I went to the surgeon's office on Monday for a follow up and I learned what my actual starting weight was. I must have misheard it or something like that. I don't know, but 447 pounds is my starting weight. That was on December 5th. That was the day that they did the pre-op class for me and took my picture and all that kind of stuff. So 447, that was the starting weight. On my surgery date, which I don't think I've reported before, I was at 412. So between my own efforts for 20 days and then the pre-op liquid diet for 17 days, I lost, 35 pounds. And then my current weight is 381.4. Now, since I missed last week, I'll tell you that last week I lost 5 pounds, and this week I lost 1.2. But my total weight loss since the beginning is 65.6 pounds, which is still great. And, I made a face, I'm sure, when I said 1.2. It's not what I'd hoped for. You always hope for more after you have 80% of your stomach removed. But we'll get into that right now. That'll be the first thing that we talk about. This is the 6 week stall, and I am not immune to it. So, please, my son is getting ready to take his nap. He's not very happy about it, even though he was asleep 20 minutes ago in the car. So, if you hear somebody shouting no and babbling to himself, that's what that is. And if it goes on too long, I'll have to get up and go talk to him. So, anyhow, um, I assume this is my 6 week stall, the 1.2 pounds. I don't know. I don't know if the definition of a stall is you lose no weight or if you just lose, just a little bit. I really don't know. But I've been told this happens to everybody right around 6 weeks and that it's nothing to worry about and that I should just keep doing what I'm doing. And in a week, maybe two, the stall will break and I'll start dropping weight again. So I just have to keep my head in the game. But that's hard because I don't know how I feel about my team. Um, I have a theory. So my surgeon is an incredible surgeon. He's a great surgeon. He's technically proficient, and he's one of the best. He's the director of bariatrics for 2 hospitals in the Metro Detroit area, which I mean that's gotta be something, right? Um, but he lacks bedside manner, and I think that I was talking to my therapist about this week, and she kind of laid it out for me that I think there's probably some cynicism in his team. There's probably some skepticism in his team these days because they've been doing this so long and they've seen everybody and everything. So, because of that, it's hard to always hear what they're saying because I don't think they regard fat people as humans. I read a great article on Obesity Help just yesterday about perfection and how perfection is dangerous for this type of program. It was written by a nutritionist who said she used to, if somebody came into her office and said, you know what, this week, and she was a bariatric nutritionist and worked for a bariatrics clinic. And she said, I would have people come in and say things like, oh, yep, I had some chips this week. And she used to be like, okay, well, we need to get your snacking under control. And she is now taking the attitude, and I kind of am too, that you have to watch how often you're having those things that aren't really part of the plan. Because to be sustainable, for me, this is for me personally, to be sustainable, everything has to be available. Everything has to be available, and I have to make choices. And I say that because I know myself well enough to know that when I hit maintenance, like if I've been very restrictive and I've been very um, like a perfect angel, and then I hit my maintenance goal, and somebody says like, okay, loosen up a little bit now. You can start to live a regular life, still eat a high protein diet, still eat a healthy diet, but there's more room to, veer off the plan. I won't do well. I will not, because it'll be like, oh my God, I haven't had X in 18 months, and I'll go hog wild. I know that some people, I've heard stories, I've talked to people, I've had friends tell me this. Some people cannot eat certain foods because they get sick. Some people can't eat certain foods because it kicks off a major binge. I have not had that problem yet. I've been lucky enough to not have that problem and to really be able to kind of wet my whistle very little and not have cravings. And so I never have to deny myself. My coworker, this is the example I give, my coworker has a little basket of Hershey Kisses on his desk. And every day when I get to work, first thing in the morning, before I've had my protein, before I've had anything, I have a single Hershey's Kiss, and that's all I have for the day, generally, as far as like those. And they're sitting 5 feet from me. We share like two table type desks pushed together, so they're 5 feet away from me. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't get to me, and so that's all I have, and I'm good. The other day, somebody brought in like fancy ass gourmet donuts from a place called Donut Bar, and I was like, ooh, oh, that's killing me. I went in and took a knife and I cut off a bite. It was probably a 16th of a donut, and I logged it. I log every little taste that I have, but I ate that one bite and I never went near the donuts again all day. So, who knows? That could become a slippery slope. I'm being very vigilant about it, but until it does, I think that's a fair way to go about things and not lose my goddamn mind. Um, so, this week I made the transition from soft foods to regular foods. So now I can eat pretty much whatever I want. Um, I've got a plan, but uh, physiologically, there's really not anything that's off limits. So the first thing that I wanted that I thought, hey, this is a pretty like good protein thing, is some chicken wings. I was like, I'm gonna get some buffalo wings, and I went to Hooters. No judgment, they're just really good wings that are around here. And so I went to Hooters Friday night and got a carryout and brought it back home, and I ate 5 wings, and that was it. Um, I This kid does not want to take a nap, so we're gonna finish this up pretty quick so I can go have a conversation with him. So I did that last night. I made flatbread pizzas on Fit and Active flatbreads with just some mozzarella cheese and some pepperoni, and I made those for my kid and I. He did not want to eat it. He chanted pizza, pizza. He's 2, but he chanted pizza, pizza until I put it down in front of him, and he didn't want to eat it. And I really don't know why. He ate some of it. He didn't not like it, but he did not want pizza. So it goes. So let's see. We talked about the stall. I talked about the sustainability thing. That's going well so far. I'm not, and the only thing I can say is that my macros. I'm trying to keep an eye on them. I'm trying to stay under 1,000 calories. Generally, I'm hitting 1,100 in a day, but the thing is, like, I'm hitting 1,100 in a day, and some people would be like, oh, well, you're 800 to 1,000. That's the most. Okay, fine. I gotcha. A, I'm a big guy. B, I'm moving around a lot more. And C, like yesterday. Yesterday's a perfect example. I had 1,085 calories. Of those calories, 113 grams of protein. Usually the goal is 80. 113 grams of protein, 65 carbs, 54 grams of fat. I think that that's pretty good. And as far as like expenditure of calories, because now we got to talk about that as well. I burned 1,100 calories just throughout my day, just walking around doing my stuff and living my life. I logged like 8,000 steps and burned 1,100 calories throughout the day. So going 85 calories over my goal, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Today, if I eat everything that I've planned to, I'm on track to do 1,100 calories total with, let's see here, 117 grams of protein, 45 grams of fat, or 64 grams of fat, 45 carbohydrates. Not bad. I don't think that's bad at all. I'm, again, not going to get bent out of shape. The problem I have with the stall is that since I'm gunning for protein and not really worrying too much about anything else, I'm using the scale as a guide. And it's kind of like as long as the scale keeps moving, then we can do that, And then I stalled out. But I was told the stall is normal, so far, just going to keep at it and see what happens. And, if the scale's not moving the way I want it to, then we'll make some adjustments. I am feeling so much better, though. I noticed that, so I work, if anybody who follows my Instagram saw my story on Friday, I work for a global consulting company. I'm in the U.S. headquarters in Southfield, which we call the headquarters, even though our CEO and our executives are all in the New York office. Southfield, Michigan, is where we were founded, and that's technically still our headquarters. So I work there, but we have 26 or 27 offices all over the country. So we have offices in London and in Asia and in Spain, all over the place. And there are 4 people who do my job, and we are all in Michigan. So time zone wise, sometimes things happen after hours, and sometimes there's emergencies after hours. So we take weekly shifts that somebody's covering the after hours, and there's an expectation still of, there's not an expectation that you just stay up all night for 7 days. It's just kind of look at your phone, when you wake up, check it before you go to bed, check it a few times at night, just to make sure there's no fires that need to be put out. So I woke up Friday morning to go to the gym, and there was an urgent email. There was a task that needed to be completed so that they could pitch work to somebody in London, and it needed to be done. So I did not get to go to the gym because I had to work, but I, was up already. So I took a shower and got ready for work, and I got to work like 45 minutes early. So I left my bag and my jacket in the car, and there's 4 buildings in my office park. There's like 4 big, 26-story buildings, and they're all connected by a walkway. And if you walk them, it's probably about a 12-minute walk at my pace to walk between my building in 2000 and the 4000 parking garage and back. So I did that twice, and that's the same 30 minutes I was going to walk on the treadmill. I did it in the morning in the office, and that is very new. I used to, go for walks every day, try to go for a 10-minute walk every day, and some days I would and some days I wouldn't. But to pull into work and say, "Oh, I've got 45 minutes," and not sit down in the atrium, this nice atrium with plants and flowers and all this stuff and tables and stuff like that, to not sit down there outside the little cafe and get coffee and just sit and read or play around on my phone or whatever, but to use that time to exercise instead, that was very new, and I was very happy that I did it. I felt really great that I did it. So yeah, that's a new feeling for me, and I'm really, really happy about it. And now I'm trying to work on my mental side. I'm trying to work on insecurity. And what I mean by insecurity is I have friends that I've had for 15 years. I've had friends that I've known through my comedy sports for 5 years now. And I still cannot quiet the feeling sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, that nobody wants me around. And it sucks. It's a sucky feeling. And the hardest part is I'm a comedian, my friends are comedians, we all like to tease each other. And it's my favorite thing in the world. I've always told people, and I have friends that get it and friends that don't, where I've said, if I'm not making fun of you, if I'm not busting your balls, that means I don't like you. So that's how you know we're friends, is if I'm making fun of you, if I'm teasing you about something, that means we're friends. And I know a lot of them have the same attitude, but nobody's even being particularly mean to me. Nobody's really making fun of me or anything. It's just a feeling in my head. You're talking too much. Oh, why did you say that? God, why are you here? Why? Nobody wants you around. And it's not all the time. It's not constant, but it does happen. And it's a bummer. But I'm working really hard on it. I'm working really hard on my confidence, because I'm, starting to dip my toe back into dating a little bit, or at least trying to. um, and I can't have that. I can't have that guy in the back of my head if I'm going to be successful at dating, and if I'm going to, eventually find someone for the long term. I've got to believe that I'm worth it, and I've got to believe that that the person I'm with is as lucky to be around me as I am to be around them. That's what's going to happen. So, I think that's everything. This is kind of a short video. I'm trying to think of some stuff I can talk about. There's really nothing. I'm still finishing up some enchiladas from my thing, the soft foods. I made a whole enchilada bake, and apparently that's taking a long time to eat. So I'm still working on that before I meal prep anything else. I'm gonna eat the rest of that. But I bought some stuff to make cracked chicken in the crock pot, which sounds really good. I've never had it, but it sounds really good. And I've got about some chicken sausage from Trader Joe's and some ranch dip and shredded cheese to make this little concoction that my fellow vlogger Grace Gets Gastric makes, which is just sliced up chicken sausage with cheese and a little bit of the cheddar bacon ranch dip. Sounds delicious. I might even have that for dinner tonight. We'll see. So, I think that's everything. I don't know what else to really talk about. If you guys have questions, comments, please leave them below. Please click the subscribe and the like buttons below. I realized that was off frame. Ba, ba. And it just helps people. I believe it helps people find my channel. And, just say hi if you're out there. Especially if I know you in real life. Say hello, because I don't know if any of my friends... I haven't told many friends about this, and I guess I should. But I don't know who's watching this, and so I would love if you guys were watching this. I want you to be a part of my journey. I want you to know what's going on. So, yeah. Oh, I'll show you one last thing, because I just did this. Because I was about to say what I'm reading right now. I'm rereading again Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I just finished reading a couple of trade paperbacks of a comic book called Saga. That was mainly, it's cheating. I have a goal to read 26 books this year, minimum of 2 a month. I hope to smash that goal. And I fell behind. It took me 2 months to read the first 2 books that I was reading. And I wanted to get caught up. So I trade paperbacks, comic books, those count. Not single issue comic books, but a trade paperback or a graphic novel, that counts. So it helps me catch up, because I can breeze through a trade paperback in a day, a day worth of light reading. But I am currently about to start rereading 2 of my favorite books. Ready Player One, which I'm not going to show you the other one, because Ready Player One was just sitting here. It was one of the books propping up my phone to shoot this. But the other book is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I'm actually going to read all 5 books in the series. And the reason I'm doing that, aside from them being great, is I did something for me. I've been living a new little phrase that a lot of people I've heard say, but I really like using it for myself, and it's kind of become a catchphrase for me, which is do the thing. Whatever that means, every day do the thing. So most days for me, that's going to the gym, or maybe it's, picking up, vacuuming my apartment when I don't feel like it, or, taking a half hour to read instead of watching TV, or doing something you really wanted to do. So last week, actually 2 weeks ago now, I guess it's been a week since I got it done. I got a tattoo. This is my second tattoo, and that's what it looks like. And that is for me, for my anxiety, to remember. And I can always look at my arm when I'm having anxiety issues, and I can say, don't panic. But it's also an homage to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, one of my favorite books. And I realized having that tattooed on my arm that it's possible people will see it and be like, oh man, I love Hitchhikers. Random quote. And I'm going to be like, I'm not great at that stuff unless I've read a book like 60 times. And I've read Hitchhikers probably twice, 3 times, and seen the movie a couple of times. And I've never read the other 4 books. I have the omnibus, but I've never read the other ones. I never got around to it. So I'm going to read all of them, partially because they're great books. I recommend reading them. But also because I don't want to look dumb for having a Hitchhiker's Guide tattoo and not knowing when people are referencing it. I don't care as much about that stuff, but I want to be, if I'm going to claim it to be a book that I love, I guess I should have some referential knowledge of it. So I'm giving it another reread and trying to cement some stuff in my brain and loving every second of it because it's a great book, and I'm sure the other 4 are just as good. So, okay, that's everything. Love you guys. I appreciate you watching my channel. Please say hello. I would love to know who's out there, and especially if you're another VSG vlogger and I don't currently subscribe to your channel. I would love to know who's out there. So, alright, love you guys, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.